Hi, my name is Drew, and if we haven't met before, welcome to ReadyBudgetGo. If this isn't your first visit, welcome back. Either way, I'm glad you're here. It is Friday, so it's time for the weekly reel. That's where I share my real budget numbers, my real triumphs, and my real mistakes. This week, I crossed an important savings milestone, and I can't wait to share it with you. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. As always, I'm going to start with a cash dump. So I've got all of these different pouches here. This first pouch has all of the change that I have left over from the week. And so I give myself $50 in cash each week, and whatever I don't spend goes toward other goals. All right, so that's all the coins. It's going to be a little less than $1. Looks like 92 cents, thereabouts. So that goes into this green and white pouch here. And I am not counting this. I have no idea how much is in there. This is just accumulating, and when the pouch gets too full or too heavy, I will cash it in for a gift card or something else. So that's the change. Let's talk about the cash. This pouch has all the folding money that I have left over at the end of the week, and I have $25, $30. So this money is going to go into this pouch here, along with the money from the previous weeks. And there's a whole bunch of ones in here because I used this money to consolidate other envelopes for other nights. So or other binders, I should say. So let's see, there's 25, 30, that's from this week. 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. $69. So not too bad for 3 weeks. Or has it only been 2 weeks? I can't even remember anymore. This next pouch will tell me, because this is the spending money for the other weeks that are left in February. Okay, so that was for 2 weeks, so not too bad. So this is going to be the money for next week, and then this money will be for the final week of February. My weeks run from Friday through Thursday, so even though February ends on a Saturday, it's going to pull in a whole bunch of days from March into February because the 27th is a Friday. So that will be for next week. This is going to be for this week. So that goes in here. I will be out of town most of this week, so probably this cash is not going to get spent, at least not all of it. I might spend a little bit on Friday. We'll see. Okay, so done with the cash. Let me put all of this away. And then let's go into the budget binder and let me tell you what happened with my money this week. So first up, let's look at the budget overview. Oh, actually, before I get into that, let me go into the project planner for the big move. So I did have an expense this week I booked a hotel room this week that will be charged in the expense tracker, but not yet. So they won't charge it until I actually go for the stay because I booked the cancelable rate just in case. So this will get updated next week with the cost for that hotel stay. Okay. So into the February budget. So this last week on Friday the 13th, I got paid. That was $2 short of what I budgeted, but this will be my budget going forward is the $32.98 rather than $33. That was just a guess because I wasn't sure where my paychecks were exactly going to land. Other things, and this week is all highlighted in orange. Haircut, I budgeted $100. I ended up spending $128. That is because well, the haircut itself with tip was $53. It cost me $18 on my transit card to get to the barber shop, and 11 of that was for the ferry boat. And then I got lunch, and I got candy, and I got a snack on the ferry. So all of it added up to $128. And that's fine because some other things are coming in under budget. So for example, Orca card, I had said I might need to put $50 on. I put a total of 31 on, so that's going to be under budget. And then this doctor office visit and the medical labs, I am not going to have to pay those. I still will need to go to the doctor and I will still need those labs, but the payment is going to come out of my FSA. I am so used to being on an HSA that I've been budgeting for medical expenses to come out of my, just regular income. And I don't need to do that anymore, at least not for this year because I have the FSA. So the FSA money will pay for both of those. Okay, coming over to this side, we had $100 go into the sinking funds binder on Monday. That is Ready Budget Game. And it was a little bit more than that, but that's okay. It was $100 from what I took out at the start of the month. The other money that went in was just the leftovers from that sort of a slush fund that I was showing earlier, the money that I don't spend in a week. And then for savings, $651. And I will talk about savings in more detail later because that is the important milestone. But for now, let's move on. Talking about cash flow. So the paycheck went in, $32.98.54 was the actual amount. And then I had a credit card payment of $334, another credit card payment of $41, transfer to savings of $651. That was from the previous page. That's the same pot of money there. And then another credit card payment for $529.69. So that was it for the week. And credit cards, I don't carry a balance on them, so I pay them off every month. And I usually try to pay on my first paycheck because that is not the rent paycheck. So generally in the middle of the month, I pay all the credit cards that have any balance at all on them. No matter how much it is or when the payment's due, I just pay everything to zero. Okay, expenses. Only 4 transactions this week. I had a Costco run for $145. I had 2 trips to McDonald's for about $10, and then DoorDash for $41. That was it. I did spend other money, but it went in other places. So, for example, I had the money for the haircut. That was like a full day treat to myself, but I budgeted for that as a bill. And then I also had Orca card spending. That was a bill. So all of those other card swipes went into a different place on the budget. So not too bad for this week. I did not add all of this up and add it to the budget overview though, so let me do that right now. Just going to get out the calculator here. So 145.56 plus 1022 plus 41.62 plus 1022 plus 50, 257.62. And the reason that I added in 50, and I forgot to write it in here, is because I need to add in my weekly cash spent. So let me take this sheet out. See if I can find the writing board. There it is. Oops, as I dumped my phone case. There we go. Okay, so today is the 19th, and we're saying weekly cash spent. Cash does not get a category because it could have been for anything, and I don't track that. This is just like mad money, so that is $50. And I always record $50 no matter how much I spent because once it's out of the bank, that money is essentially a sunk cost to me. So because I don't track where it goes, I just write down the entire 50. Okay, so there we go. And despite using I used the wrong pen, that's why. I thought I was using my mark-on and I was not. So now I need to get this highlighter cleaned up here. Give me just one sec here. There we go, good as new. Okay. So this is going to go back in here. And then I'm going to add the 257.62 to my tracker. With the actual highlighter safe pen. Okay, 257.62. And I'm left-handed, so I'm going to come in over the top and do it backward here. There we go. Okay. Good to go. So I think that's it for this section. Let me just make sure, because I think the only other sheet in here is the monthly summary. Yep, okay. So let me put this back away, and let's talk about savings. So first, the emergency fund. If you've been following me for a while, then you'll know that I had a fully funded emergency fund as of last year. At the start of this year, I got an unexpected tax bill from the IRS, and that cost me a third of my emergency fund to make it go away. Incidentally, I got a letter from the IRS the other day, and they said that I overpaid, and they're sending me a refund. Like, okay. I mean, I'm not going to complain about a refund, but at the same time, when that letter showed up, I was like, what now? But okay. So, emergency fund. This week, I contributed the $651. That is from my Tuesday video and my Wednesday video. Tuesday is the Celebration Savings book and the Batman binder with the savings challenges in it. And then Wednesday is My Money Relaunch with all the sticker challenges. And so that brought my total up to, well, I was able to fill in the tracker up to the 12,570 line. Now, again, if you've been with me a while, you know that my previous high watermark in my savings account for my emergency fund was $12,200. So I'm above that. Essentially, I've recovered from the unexpected tax bill. So if I hadn't had that tax bill, then I would be fully funded, but it is what it is. So with the contribution of $651 this week, that brought the total to $12,681. I will try to remember to pop up a picture of my Wealthfront, which is where I keep all of my vaulted money, I call it, so all of my savings accounts that are for the long term, and show that that is the current balance. So that is exciting. And then also, I crossed 890 subscribers. So if you have subscribed, thank you so much. So I filled in another circle here. We're on the teal color or aqua color, and I put in 150 because I actually had to catch up from these two as well. So that brought the total to $4,450. This is a $5,000 savings challenge. For everyone who subscribes, I save $5. So each one of these represents 10 subscribers or $50. So once this is complete, that'll be $5,000. This money is going toward the big move. The big move is coming up relatively quickly, and it may very well be that I don't reach the 1,000 subscribers before the big move, and that is totally fine. I will continue to fill this in until I get to having it fully complete, just because I've come this far and I want to go all the way. So I'm going to try not to use this money if I can help it until I absolutely have to, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I think, in a previous video, maybe it was last week's weekly reel, I talked about when I wanted to have that savings goal complete, and I had said that I wanted to have it done by May, and I think it might be even earlier than that. I might be able to finish it in like mid-April at the latest. We'll see how things go. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will save money if you do. And until I see you in the next one, take care.